This is the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube. With the SFL wrapping up with an explosive finale yesterday, it's now the minor league's turn to take over the football season. It's the Lexington Miners taking on the Salt Lake City Rustlers. Hello everyone, I'm Tyler Falk, joined alongside by Josh Zirkle up here in the booth. Great to have you here in Lexington, Kentucky. Josh, I gotta ask you, these Lexington Miners in their first season off to a pretty solid start, 2-1 as they enter in today. What's the key for them going forward?
Well, I think it all starts under center, Tyler. Dave Burr, who just walked onto the scene as a first-year quarterback in SFLm. He's been setting the world on fire. 5 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. We know how difficult it is to stay above water as a quarterback in the SFL and SFLm as well. He's got a nice complement of players around him. But this Salt Lake City team, they look pretty tough.
Absolutely. Salt Lake themselves come into the ball game 2-1 as well. So someone is going to have to take the loss, and someone's going to go to 500. The other team's going to go to 3-1. And both teams look pretty solid. Salt Lake run a more conservative game plan, while Lexington are able to score points in a hurry. So who is going to blink first? The team that's explosive or the team that wants to be consistent? We're going to find out shortly, as Salt Lake City will kick it off to begin the football game, as here we go. We have kickoff in Kentucky. Turner's going to get started around the 10 and angled straight up the field. Gets through a couple tackles before he's eventually taken down right at the 30-yard line. And so that is where Dave Burr and company will take the field for their first offensive possession.
And one of the things I love about this offense is that they can throw the ball, but they run the ball too. A lot of balance. Bailey O'Shaughnessy, a big part of their success so far. 5 yards a pop he's averaging on the ground, Tyler.
Lexington come out in their slate grays and blue, while Salt Lake come out in their white and brownish black pants. Quick drop for Burr under center. He's going to fire the slant out over the middle. That's caught, hauled in for a gain of 7 by the wide receiver. And let's go ahead and meet the Lexington offense. Dave Burr, the QB under center, with Bailey O'Shaughnessy at tailback, with Aaron Alexander at fullback. Zachary Patton and David Gears are the wideouts, with Eric Ketchum, and talk about him for a little bit. The first week he played was last week, had 1 reception, good for a 73-yard touchdown, and we cannot forget the center, Brian Fennick. And off O'Shaughnessy up the middle, and O'Shaughnessy's going to be roughed up right there by Bogey Barr. He's going to fight his way forward for about 3 yards, and it'll be 3rd and inches upcoming.
And a nice north-south run to get O'Shaughnessy going early. This is a guy who can handle volume, and an interesting play call here on 2nd and medium to just be more conservative. Dave Barr not taking the game into his hands just yet.
Power I formation as the handoff will go to O'Shaughnessy. He shakes off one tackle, gets stuck behind one of his blockers, but eventually falls forward for the first down. Very tough running, as Marcus Sledge wasn't able to bring him down in time. First down, Miners.
And that's exactly what you get with O'Shaughnessy. The second effort and then the third effort as well. That should have been a negative play. It should have been a TFL for Salt Lake City. But instead, O'Shaughnessy manages to climb out of the backfield and get the first down.
O'Shaughnessy trying to emulate what he saw yesterday in the SFL's championship game, is they'll get the call again. But this time, the Rustlers are in the backfield in a hurry, and this time Sledge and Bogey Barr get to him for a 1-yard loss. And let's take a look at the Salt Lake City defense. Marcus Sledge leads the men in the trenches at his defensive end spot, with Bogey Barr and John Martin at the linebacking spots. On the corners, we have Jared Brody, and in the safety spots, we have Kenny Slider making his debut, with Isaiah King III and Frankie Custer also at the safety spots. So O'Shaughnessy gets the call there on the stretch play, and a good run there will get him 5 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 6.
And now that you're at this point of where you look at the field position here, Tyler, this is where I expect Lexington to open things up a little bit. You're in midfield. You got a chance to put some points on the board if you're able to get a first down to this drive. Well, Dave Barr finally put it in the air for his second throw of the game.
Coverage for the Rustlers backs off to right there at the line to gain, just trying to contain everything short of that line. As Barr gets the pass off near side, that one's caught, and good awareness there by Brian Way, the return man, and the slot receiver gets the first down before going out of bounds.
And that was impressive, the way that the wide receivers, Patton and Gears, cleared everybody else out and made room for the underneath route. And Burr not doing anything too fancy here, Tyler. Just nickel and dime this defense, taking exactly what they give him.
And that's exactly what you need to do. Be consistent and be confident in your passes, especially as a very young quarterback. Burr under center, split back behind him, and he's back to pass. Take a deep 7-step drop. He'll float it out there to the far side. That one's hauled in by David Gears, and Gears, with his first reception of the ball game, picks up 9.
And you pointed out that big cushion that the Ottawa secondary is giving those Lexington receivers, and now Gears the one taking advantage of it here, running a nice route to the sideline, making the catch. It gets his team into a 2nd and short.
Well, I know Ottawa and Salt Lake have 2 similar color schemes, but I think we got the Rustlers on the field today here, Josh.
Well, I'm really sorry. I'm looking forward to next game as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Ottawa's going to be playing later tonight, also on YouTube, as O'Shaughnessy gets the call up the middle, and O'Shaughnessy picks up the first down. He's currently averaging 2.6 a carry.
And it feels like he's doing more than that. It feels like the offense is running through Bailey O'Shaughnessy right now. And when he got stymied a little bit at the line, Dave Burr took over. And now Dave Burr's letting O'Shaughnessy run again. And Salt Lake City at this point, they really don't know what to expect here on 1st and 10.
Good mix of play calling from the Lexington offensive coordinator as O'Shaughnessy gets the call on the swing pass, and he'll pick up 5 before being tackled.
And he can catch it and he can run it. You could probably sneak into your kitchen and make a nice pan of brownies at night when you're not paying attention. Bailey O'Shaughnessy can really do it all. Very impressive first drive here. Bailey O'Shaughnessy's show right now, getting a nice view from Salt Lake City here in Lexington.
Well, if he can do that, I'll gladly take some of those brownies. I've been dying for a little bit of sweetness in my life.
That's a draft stock for sure.
There we go. Burr's pass is deflected there by Fred Carson, and he'll bring up 3rd down.
And Carson lucky to get a hand on that. I think that's Burr's first incompletion of the evening. And now 3rd and 5, you're in field goal range. I think a run to O'Shaughnessy up the middle here is exactly what's called for. You don't want to get too careless here. You got points on the board. You want to keep them.
Burr coming in with a 63% completion percentage so far. Doing so far so good here today. Pass near side deflected. Great coverage there by the debutant Kenny Slider. And it'll be 4th down, and Lexington will bring on the field goal unit.
Yeah, great read by Slider here. Look how far out he is away from the receiver. He's just playing zone. Manages to get his hand up in there. And that's an outstanding guy for a guy who created just 6 days ago. Very impressive. And now Lexington's going to have to settle for a field goal.
And so we'll see Herbert Murphy on to try and tack this one on, as it should be about a 44-yard try from that left hash.
And at this level, Tyler, this is not an automatic. We will see some kickers at this level struggle.
Absolutely. Seen a couple miss here and there already through 3 weeks of the season. We'll see if Murphy can right the ship. Snap spot. Kick is on its way. It has the distance, and it is very accurate through the uprights, and good. 3-0 Miners.
And that's what you want to do when you're at home. Make a nice opening drive and get points on the board. You want to get 7, but getting 3 here at this point is not bad at all. You've given Salt Lake City a lot to think about with your offense between Dave Burr and Bailey O'Shaughnessy. And as they go to the sideline to make adjustments, they have no idea which of those 2 players is going to be a bigger factor in this game, and frankly, neither do I.
We'll see if they can keep the defense guessing, but for now, they'll have to try and go on the defense themselves as they kick it away here to Salt Lake in return. Nets positive up to the 29-yard line as Hickman gets the return there, and we'll see Tommy Utah, a second-year quarterback, come on the field for Salt Lake.
And Tommy Utah is another quarterback that I like in this league. I've been impressed with Dave Burr so far, but I saw Utah a couple weeks ago, and he's just a guy who seemed to have command of the offense. Didn't really play outside of himself, managed to keep the team, his offense on the field, and we'll see what he has for us in this opening drive.
2 backs in the backfield with 2 wide receivers spread out to the right. Utah back to pass. Will fire it out to the far side. That's caught by A. Sharp. And that's good enough for 6, as we'll take a look at the Salt Lake City offensive lineup. Tommy Utah is the quarterback with Brooke Beisel at halfback. Terrell Sutherland had a game to remember last week, 10 carries, 20 yards, and a touchdown at his fullback spot, with Ace Sharp and Kelsey Brown at wideout, and Yaron Hammer at tight end. They'll keep the 2 wide receivers there to the far side, but this time Utah in the gun. Pressure coming from the outside as his pass over the middle goes into coverage, and it falls incomplete as the pressure was applied by Darren Fuller.
I'm surprised Utah kept looking upfield, Dale, trying to force that throw. He had Yaron Hammer on the out route, who just ran a little drag to the sideline. But Utah instead trying to get A-Sharp some volume early in this game. Maybe a tip to what they're trying to do in their game plan overall.
Utah on the gun again. This time, both Beisel and Sutherland off to his left and right with 3 wideouts. Back to pass. Both backs stay in to help protect as that pass is caught by Kelsey Brown for her first reception of the ball game, and that's a first down for the Rustlers.
Tyler, Kelsey Brown is my favorite SFL player, and I don't mean in SFLm. I mean in the SFL. She makes absolutely astounding catches anywhere on the field, and that's her first catch so far today.
Well, Lexington doesn't think so there, Josh. They're going to go ahead and challenge it and see if they can't get something to go their way on defense here early. Let's take a look.
And I don't know if this is a great challenge unless we see something here on the second look. I thought she had the 1 foot in, catches there, and that looks like a catch to me.
And that was right in front of Chad Rowland there. I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't more conservative with this challenge, and indeed it will be not overturned. The call will stand, and Lexington will lose one of those 3 timeouts early on in this football game.
And lose a challenge as well. As close as some of these SFLm games have been, I think that challenge would be one you want to keep in your hip pocket, at least towards the second half.
So Salt Lake will have a fresh set of downs, and they like that formation so much on 3rd down, they'll go to it here on 1st down. As the nickel look will back off on coverage a little bit, Utah back to pass, steps up, fires near side again. That one's caught again by guess who? Kelsey Brown. Back-to-back plays, back-to-back receptions for Brown.
And back-to-back out routes. We're used to seeing Kelsey Brown materialize downfield, and this may be just part of getting Kelsey Brown warmed up and into this game. Ace Sharp has a catch, Brown has 2, and right now we're seeing a real commitment to the passing game from Salt Lake City and from Tommy Utah.
Going an offset eye behind Utah. It'll be a weak eye, and they'll run in that direction with Beisel, and Beisel only able to pick up a couple before she's wrapped up by Daryl Bullock, and that'll give us time to go ahead and introduce the Miners' defensive starters. Brogan Speraw is the defensive end. He leads his man on the defensive line, with Derek Williams at outside linebacker. Ty Woodson and Daryl Bullock are the corners, with Isabella Blackwell and Josh Rowe at the safety spots. Big 3rd down upcoming here for the Rustlers. They go play action as a pass over the middle. Good catch there by Kelsey Brown, and the Rustlers continue to march down the field.
And that's what I'm used to seeing from Kelsey Brown, somebody who finds a way to get open in the 2nd and 3rd level, or sometimes even beyond that. And you look at all the green space time. Look at that window that Tommy Utah has to throw to. And you wonder sometimes whether to give credit to the offense or a demerit to the defense for that. But to me, that is just Kelsey Brown happening all over your football field.
Just an absolutely tremendous route running there, able to shake off her coverage, even though it was zone, able to find a hole in the defense for her quarterback to throw to. Swing pass now to the near side. That one's hauled in, and running out of bounds there is the fullback, Terrell Southland.
And Southland will get involved in the game plan here. At this point in the season, he's about trailing Beisel at a 4-to-1 ratio. Beisel at 44 carries heading into this game. Sutherland only at 12, but he's going to be a factor in this game, and perhaps a large factor, and he will get some volume tonight.
Had a lot more attention last week on the run game as they try and get him going early in the passing game here early on in this 1st quarter. Utah back to pass again. Wide open receiver over the middle. That's going to be another 1st down for the Rustlers. Pass and catch there to Grant Hickman.
And Hickman will get his too. Hickman is not a slouch in this offense. He'll catch a couple balls. Tommy Utah only happy to spread it around. I think that is a testament to being a great quarterback as much as anything, Tyler. Distributing the ball to your entire team.
Outside linebacker show blitz on the outside. It'll be a run up the middle for Beisel. She streaks away from the defense and gets all the way down to the 8-yard line before she's stopped. Wow.
And that was crazy. She almost pulled away from those defenders charging her. Gets a great hole here, some great blocking up front. And there's 3 defenders that are trying to bring her down. Then it's number 24, Isabella Blackwell, that finally does catch her. But if Blackwell's not there, that might have been a touchdown.
And 1st and goal for the Rustlers, being effective and consistent, something that has worked well for them in previous football games, and that's why they're 2-1. We'll see if they can punch it in here with 3:25 left in the first. It's going to be a fullback dive from Sutherland, and Sutherland able to march his way forward down to the 2.
And an injury update there on Beisel, but Sutherland, making quick use of that fullback dive. It is a football dive, but the fullback dive is so much more effective on the offense because you get it in play a lot faster. It's a great play to run on the goal line. We saw it run very well there.
Didn't see what happened to Beisel there on the play, but now in comes Chris Foreman, the back-up halfback, and he'll get a call, and he'll punch it in for the Rustlers. Touchdown, Salt Lake City. Next man up mentality.
And that is a classic vulture move by Chris Foreman. Sutherland's out there, ready to get the ball, but instead does his job, sets a great block there that springs Foreman and gets him into the end zone. And Foreman's going to get the touchdown on the stat sheet, but Sutherland deserves a lot of credit for springing his back up to the end zone.
And just like that, Salt Lake City jump out in front, and on comes Carl Markland, to go on and attempt the extra point.
Cam Meekland.
Snap spot. Kick is up, and it is good. Salt Lake City 7, Lexington 3. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy.
And that website's looking really good right now. They had that redone, got a little facelift a couple weeks ago. It was on it today. It looks gorgeous.
Oh, what a hit by Lyle Vernon. Just takes down Brian Wade right there at the 27.
And now Lexington's got some showing to do. They give up a touchdown on the road in Salt Lake City's opening drive. Now it's time to answer. It's time for Dave Burr get his hands out of his pocket, start throwing the ball down the field.
High formation here on 1st down. Burr back to pass. Has time, but it's right into the defender's mitts, in and out of John Martin's hands. Incomplete.
And you look around Dave Burr, and you see some aggressive pass blocking there. And that pressure is not getting home at this point, Tyler, but they are getting in Burr's face. They're making a lot of noise around him, and he has to throw with thinking about all of that. And you're seeing the quality of some of those throws not up to snuff, not what we'd expect from Dave Burr. That's all Salt Lake City right now.
Salt Lake City stacked the box with 8 men in the box to counter the power I. Instead, Burr will back to pass. O'Shaughnessy has to leap to grab it, but he does, and he inches his way forward and gets his way to the 3rd down short.
And I'm just impressed with what O'Shaughnessy's able to do in space. We've seen him shrugging off some tacklers, lowers his shoulder there, trying to get to that yard to gain, trying to get to the sticks. And he got very, very close, but Salt Lake City managed to corral him there. And now what will we see from Lexington on 3rd and inches?
Linebackers shift to the near side, then show blitz on the line. Burr back to pass, quick drop, quick little floater over the middle. That's deflected up in the air. Great coverage from Isaiah King, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, obviously not a fan of the play call there. Burr, 3 straight passes, and only 1 play to O'Shaughnessy, and I thought 3rd and inches, that'd be an automatic to give it to your star halfback. Burr had different ideas, and now instead of answering the score from Salt Lake City, Lexington goes 3 and out. They're going to have to punt.
So in their own territory, they'll elect to punt it away instead of trying to go for it, as there's still plenty of time left to go in the football game, as Rand Fullman will go ahead and punt this one away. And we've called for a fair catch right there at the 28, and Salt Lake City will take over right there.
And now Salt Lake City, you don't want to say they can kick the leg rest on the recliner up and relax here. But now the onus to perform is on Lexington. Salt Lake City has a chance to just put together a great drive, give their defense a rest.
Last time out, they were able to punch it in with the backup halfback, Chris Foreman, and this time run up the middle will be from the fullback, Terrell Sutherland, and unfortunately for Beisel, she's going to have to remain on the sideline for the rest of the football game as that twisted knee will take her out for the week.
And that is a huge blow for Salt Lake City. You still have Sutherland, but how much is he going to be able to adapt to the game plan? And how much will Salt Lake City be able to adapt without their star halfback?
Utah back to pass here on second down. Good pocket from the Rustlers as he has plenty of time to find his man over the middle. And what tremendous protection from that offensive line there, Josh.
Yeah, he had time to check his Gmail, Twitter, and TikTok. All the time he had back there in that pocket. And he does manage to get a completion and get it to 3rd and short.
Maybe even had time to boot up MySpace at that amount of time as well.
Perhaps.
Utah back in the gun here on 3rd and 1. Has to roll right, throws near side on the stop route, and that's going to be good enough for the first down. Kelsey Brown gets in on the action.
Kelsey Brown, once again, factoring into this offense, getting a first down. And we've not seen the high-flying aerial show that we usually see from Kelsey Brown, but it's coming, Tyler. And in the interim, she's doing a great job of helping Salt Lake City move the chains.
Utah will go under center this time with 4 wide receivers. It'll be a handoff up the middle for Foreman, and Foreman gets leveled in the backfield as the Lexington Miners read that one perfectly. Derek Williams in on the stop.
Yeah, Williams 6'5", 260, making his presence felt, making an impact right now in this game. Lexington knows they've got to corral Salt Lake City on this drive, and Williams doing his part.
Probably see either a little bit more of Sutherland on some carries, and indeed we will. There on the far side, Sutherland breaks off a tackle for the fullback. Oh, I love to see it. See the big man rumble.
And that was a great block or two that Sutherland got on the right edge there. And without those, that's probably a no gain or worse. Number 68 there, and look at the pulling guard. Number 69, boom, right there. Gets Sutherland loose, and he is off to the 3rd level. And that's a huge gain for Salt Lake City right when they needed it.
Next man up, Sutherland had a game to remember last week with 10 carries. He's already well on his way to eclipsing that number with how many he received here in the first quarter alone. But that will take us to the end of the first quarter as Salt Lake City has the lead and are driving 7-3. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Welcome back to Lexington as the Rustlers are driving. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Josh Circle. Glad to have you alongside for Week 4 minor league action here in the SFL as Sutherland gets the call on the next play, and he's going to be taken down for a 1-yard loss.
And now we're going to see what Terrell Sutherland, you don't want to say is made of, because this is not the role he expected to play. He's a fullback. He's not expecting a lot of carries. He expected more to be used in a blocking scheme. But now he's got to step up with Beisel injured, and we're going to see what he's able to do.
3 wideouts and Utah in the gun. He goes back to pass. We'll find the out route there on the far side. That one's hauled in by Kelsey Brown. She turns upfield, gets to the 30-yard line before being knocked out of bounds.
And Kelsey Brown, I have that as her 5th catch of the night already. And she has just been an absolute force. Kelsey Brown and Tommy Utah, you don't want to say a match made in heaven, but it's a match made in the ionosphere at least.
Brown had 6 catches a week ago for 85 yards and already being as consistent and a reliable target as she was last week. Handoff the left side this time, and that one's going to go for a few, but not enough. Sutherland again on the carry, averaging 5.4, and that's something we don't often see from fullbacks.
It really isn't. And he needed a little bit more than that, and I think Salt Lake City's going to challenge this play, Tyler.
Very interesting. We saw a challenge get denied by Lexington early on in the half. Now Salt Lake wants to take a look under the hood.
Yeah, and I thought Sutherland was well short. We're going to get a great look at it here. And just tremendous defense. Ooh, that may be a little closer than I thought it was.
Maybe we'll get a better angle from here as it does look very close, but I don't think it got enough. We'll see what RC2 has to say about this one.
I think he's short, but my opinion doesn't matter.
Well, there we go. Salt Lake City will have to result in losing one of their timeouts as well. So both teams have challenged a play so far in the ball game, and both teams have lost their challenge. And so here comes Carl Macklin on to attempt a long field goal. This one, 45 from the left hash, about the same distance and same spot that we saw one hit earlier by Hubert Murphy. Snap spot, kick is on its way. This one is going to go wide to the right. No good. One make, one miss from both these kickers today.
Well, obviously that spot was worn out by Lexington, but you see the kick, and that ball did not even hit the net. It fell down. It hit the ground short of the net, and of course the accuracy wasn't there either. Unfortunate for Salt Lake City. Yeah, just a straight pull. Looks like me playing golf.
There we go. I'll be right there with you. I got some slices that'll probably be a little bit more heinous than that one as well. Oh man, Josh, we got to meet up on the link sometime. We got to go and be Shank brothers, right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Maybe we'll have to do that at the SFL convention coming up in August. But right now, it's Dave Barr, the quarterback on the field for Lexington. He'll take over with his offense. Out route, near side. That one's hauled in by Brian Way. Good enough for 4 yards. Tackle made by Gerard Brody.
And now Dave Barr and this Miners offense smell blood in the water. You got a missed field goal. You start with great field position. You've got a chance to answer here. And a field goal will make this a 1-point game. And I think Dave Barr has his sights set a little higher.
I formation, 3 wideouts here on second down. Burr takes a 7-step drop. Pressure coming from the outside. Just does get it away to a falling receiver who hauls it in. Gets back up. Wasn't touched, but then is taken down. Again, that's Brian Way on the reception.
Yeah, 2 defenders jumped over Way, and neither one of them touched him, so he's allowed to get up and keep running. Watch this. Boom, the little hurdling. But you forgot the one critical component is to tag the receiver down. And I thought that one guy got him there. I think Frankie Kuster got him with the knee. But the ref said no, and Ray got up and made a play of it.
Don't just keep playing till the whistle sounds as 2 defenders take a little swan dive to the sideline on the far side. First down here for the Miners. I formation, Burr back to pass, fires over the middle. That one's caught for back-to-back first downs as we'll see Eric catch him. It isn't a 1 reception and a touchdown performance like we saw from last week, but that's a good catch from the second week man.
Yeah, it is, but as you noted, it's going to destroy his average. He was averaging 1 touchdown per catch, and now plummeted all the way down to 1/2 of 1 touchdown per catch.
We'll see what happens. Burr again passes near side. That one's deflected up in the air and will fall incomplete. Brody in on the coverage.
And Brody doing a nice job there. Brody 6'2", 210, and showing some great athleticism. Anytime you got to go up for that ball, it's a win or lose proposition. You're going to get a pass deflection and stop the play in its tracks, or that ball's going to go sailing over your hands, and you're going to give up a big play. Fortunately, Brody got the winning end of that transaction.
Second down now for the Miners. They come out with 4 wide receivers, and O'Shaughnessy off to the left of Burr. Burr will fire to the near side. That one's hauled in by David Gears, and Gears will fight off Gerard Brody for a couple extra yards, but then is taken down at the 26.
And that extra effort made all the difference. You saw Gears lower his shoulder and blast through the defender to get that extra yardage. And that is going to get Lexington into field goal range. Great effort by Gears.
Ketchum is going to be flexed to the left of the I formation. Burr back to pass. Cornerback coming on the blitz, and Burr's pass hits off the helmet of Bogey Barr and incomplete.
And I'm surprised Burr didn't go hot to the opposite side where the blitz came from. Instead, he threw to the left side, threw into triple coverage, and was lucky he hit a defender in the helmet and not the hands. And Burr's starting to cool off here as they get deeper and deeper into enemy territory in this drive.
Second down from the Salt Lake 26. 4-3 look from the Rustlers. They shift their linebackers toward the weak part of that power I via swing pass near side for O'Shaughnessy, and on the screen pass that'll pick up 5 and results in a 3rd and 5.
And you're at the 21, field goal range. 3 points is eminent as long as you don't turn the ball over. But with less than 8 minutes to play here in the half, and Salt Lake City reeling after the missed field goal, this is not a terrible time to go for the jugular. Take a shot at the end zone here.
3 wide and in the I formation for the Miners. Fighting for it is O'Shaughnessy, but Bogey Barr stops him just a yard shy, and it's 4th and short for the Miners. On comes Triple H, Hubert hips Murphy on to attempt the field goal.
I thought O'Shaughnessy might have had it on forward progress, but I like the play call. I thought it was a good decision. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out for Lexington that time. You're going to get the field goal here and make it a 1-point game. So losing the first down is not the end of the world.
33-yard attempt from the left hash. Snap, spot kick is up, and it is good. And Murphy is 2 for 2 on the day, and that cuts the lead to within 1.
And Lexington's been playing well. They've been moving the ball, but this is where they've been stalling out on this point of the field. As you see the field goal go through. And they're going to have to do a little bit better in the red zone. Salt Lake City giving them all they can handle once they start playing in the shadow of their own goalpost.
So Murphy will go ahead and kick this one away to Salt Lake City to get us rolling once more. Hickman stands at about his 8-yard line, takes it up through the middle, and is taken down right at the 26-yard line. The SFL's 3rd season of minor league action is underway, and you can watch every Friday night live on the SFL's YouTube channel at youtube.com/SimulationFL. The league is full of all the newest players who have gone from couch to field and are hoping to one day be on national TV. Want to get on the field? It's never too late. Visit www.simulationfl.net to join our Discord community, create your player, and start building your career today. Gun set here for Salt Lake as Utah has to roll to his left and has to fire, tries to find Kelsey Brown, but tremendous coverage there from Lexington will knock that one away.
Yeah, Spiro there on the coverage, but the defensive back came in with significant closing speed, and I think that was Daryl Bullock, who came in from his safety position and just swiped that ball away in stride at the last possible second. Great defensive play by both players on Lexington.
Now Salt Lake City are coming out with 4 wide. No backs in the backfield as we saw Brooke Beisel leave the game earlier with a knee injury as Utah fires over the middle on the all slants pattern and will find his target. That's going to be Kelsey Brown again making the reception. 1st down Rustlers.
Now Kelsey Brown taking on more of a blue collar role now that Beisel's injured. We're seeing a lot of these catches in the second level, and she takes a shot there. 2 Lexington Miners converging on her position as she catches that ball, but she hangs on it and gets her team a 1st down.
A set now for the Rustlers on this 1st down. Handoff up the middle is going to be made by Chris Foreman, the backup tailback, and he'll maybe pick up a yard before Isabella Blackwell and company get to him.
And if you're the Lexington defense, you've really got to be salivating at this point. You know that anytime they run the ball, you're going to have the advantage, at least in terms of athleticism. Foreman, is a nice player, but he is not ready to withstand a full beating as the leading halfback.
So they can do halfback stay in, then decide to flex out on the swing pass, and that one's going to be caught by Foreman again, but able only to pick up again only a yard before he's taken down. Derek Williams in on the stop.
And that's the point I was trying to make a second ago, is that you've got Chris Foreman against Derek Williams, and Derek Williams 6'5", 260, He's quick and athletic. He's going to get the better end of that matchup every single time, and that's why you have 3rd and long.
Bump coverage from the defensive backs on the line, but able to sneak through it is the receiver Grant Hickman, and that's going to be a good enough for a long gain and a first down on 3rd down.
And that's the kind of performances that Tommy Utah's counting on. And Hickman running a nice route across the field. And Utah just puts up a nice ball. Look how pretty that spiral is. And hits Hickman right in the hands. And he's able to turn upfield and get a couple bonus yards in addition to that. Great play by Hickman and a very nice throw by Tommy Utah.
Only a 1 point separates both these teams as Salt Lake City are trying to, extend their lead out a little bit further. Had a 4-point lead early. We'll see what they can do here. Play action up the middle is going to be a pass over the middle for Kelsey Brown, deflected away, and it'll be 2nd down upcoming.
Garrett Foreman playing nice hook zone here. And you can see Utah under some pressure. Got some bodies in his face. He pumps, and you could see right there, Foreman's just eyeing him the whole way. Number 56 right in the middle of your screen. He knew right where that ball was going.
I wonder if Garrett Foreman and Chris Foreman are brothers. Got 2 Foremans on the field today and playing against each other on the defensive and offensive side of the football. So we'll see if we can get a little bit of a Foreman tackle on a Foreman back here later on. But now here comes Salt Lake's offense. Offset eye behind Utah. He's back to pass. We'll find the running back Foreman for Salt Lake City. And he'll march forward, picks up 8 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 2 upcoming for the Salt Lake City.
It's a nice game by Foreman. And Lexington, if you're only rushing 3, that means you have 8 guys in coverage, and you really need to do a better job of defending the flats on both sides of the field. Foreman basically caught the ball, ran 6 yards up the field before anybody was even in his face, and I would hang that one on Lexington.
3rd and manageable here for the Rustlers. Utah on the gun, fires deep over the middle. One-handed catch down to the 14-yard line. Ace Sharp makes a huge play.
Outstanding catch by Ace Sharp, and a really great ball by Tommy Utah. He does not have a great window to throw here. Fortunately, he has a good pocket, and he puts it right on the money, and Ace Sharp just goes up with one hand and manages to make a catch in a swarm of defenders and bring it in to get Salt Lake City into the red zone.
Now from the red zone, Salt Lake City trying to tack on a few more points. Quick drop there from Utah. Pass over the middle. That one's caught down to the line again. And indeed, we'll get enough. Kelsey Brown on the reception. These Rustlers are moving forward with purpose.
And Kelsey Mania running wild right now on this Lexington defense. Her 7th catch of the evening. Already over the 50-yard mark. We haven't even finished the first half yet. Kelsey Brown, a big part of this drive so far. Salt Lake City knocking on the door.
Goal line set from Lexington to just try to stop the run. Pass to the end zone. Holden! Kelsey Brown! Touchdown! Salt Lake City!
And that is awesome. Look at the concentration here on Brown. Brown is running her route. She's not even realizing that she faked out the defender and just gets the toes down, the catch. Toes are inbounds. And that is just a picture-perfect catch and a great reason why I love watching Kelsey Brown play. Just the attention to detail is immaculate. Great job by Kelsey Brown and a great drive from Salt Lake City.
Macklin will go ahead and attempt the extra point. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. 14-6, the Rustlers stampede back out in front. The SFL broadcast team is looking to add new talent to our ranks of broadcasters. Applications are being accepted now to try out for either play-by-play or analyst broadcasting positions. No prior experience is required, just a love for the game and a desire to succeed. The application can be found on our website at simulationfl.net/broadcasting.
And please sign up soon so Tyler can take a break.
As Brian Way gets the return started, makes one man miss on the spin move, and is taken down at the 30. And, well, we really haven't seen too much performance from these Miners besides getting a field goal on their last drive and a field goal to start out the football game. What has to change as we come to a close here in the first half, Josh?
Well, Tyler, I'd like to see more Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and I know they're up against the clock here at this point with 3.5 to play, but really, he's been a big part of their offense so far, and Dave Barr's really struggled. Remember, he had the 3 passes on that 3 and out.
Burr finds his man on the swing pass. That's O'Shaughnessy, and O'Shaughnessy tried to make one man miss, but he stopped maybe after a gain of 1 for the tailback.
And they've got to do a better job of setting him up than that. And he was wide open there. He could have creeped upfield a little bit, but he had 2 defenders on him right away, including Bogey Barr. And that's not his strength. His strength is going north and south. That's what I need to see from Lexington on this drive.
I formation here from the Miners on 2nd down. Burr steps up in the pocket again on a swing pass to O'Shaughnessy. This time maybe a little bit too far. That's going to be rolled incomplete.
Yeah, and again, they ran the right hash play on the left hash. O'Shaughnessy had nowhere to go. That time, he didn't even need a defender to take O'Shaughnessy down. The sideline did it for him.
Big 3rd down upcoming for the Miners. 4 wideouts, empty backfield behind Dave Barr, who's under center. Dime look from the Rustlers. Burr back to pass, fires to his stopper route man on the underneath route, and going nowhere is the tight end, Eric Ketchum, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And this is a great catch by Ketchum, but he's not able to do anything with it, and he catches it short of the marker, which is great if you can make a defender miss and gain yardage that way. Ketchum not able to do that. Ketchum has only been in the league a week and a half, so you can't exactly pin that on him. But Dave Burr, for the 2nd time this half, goes off the field on a 3 and out.
Fullman gets his punt away as Hickman starts his return, makes one man miss, and is taken down at the 27-yard line. These Rustlers had an explosive drive last time out, able to march down the field for 6.
Yeah, and they're right back at it, too, because Dave Burr didn't do 2 things. He wasn't able to sustain a drive, and he wasn't able to eat a lot of clock. They only ate a minute and a half, Lexington did, on that drive. And so now Salt Lake City has not only 2 timeouts, but also the 2-minute warning to finish their drive here in the first half.
That'll be the last play of the half before we get to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a handoff to Sutherland, the fullback, who gets maybe a yard. And that'll take us to, indeed, the 2-minute warning. Salt Lake City 14, Lexington 6. Salt Lake has the ball and are trying to tack on more points. We'll be right back. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Just 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Salt Lake, led by Tommy Utah, trying to put up a couple more points to go ahead in the locker room by a big margin. Play action to Foreman. Pass near side. That one's hauled in, and falling out of bounds is Ace Sharp.
And that's a nice play to get the chains going there. At least the offense going. Not the chains yet at this point. It's 3rd and 4. But, you got to start throwing the ball down the field here a little bit.
3rd and 4, need to get to the 38 to convert. Handoff, Foreman up the middle, and maybe an ill-advised play call as you got a backup tailback behind your quarterback, and Lexington will gladly take this 3 and out.
Yeah, they will, and a great job by the Lexington defense. The Salt Lake City didn't do themselves any favorites with the play call on 3rd down, like you mentioned, Tyler. Now, Dave Berg's going to get another bite at the apple here. Might have about 1:05. Yeah, get something down, get something going. Maybe get down the field and sneak a field goal in before the half.
Frank Gussie on to punt it away, and they're just going to go ahead and take a little bit more time off the clock to give Lexington the disadvantage of playing with less time. Brian Way on the return gets up to the 32, and that is where we'll see Dave Burr and company come on the field and attempt to, get a couple more points and maybe a shot back into this one, as they've stalled out on a couple drives as of late.
And the real disadvantage for Lexington here, Tyler, is that we know what Lexington's going to do now. Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who could have been a factor in the offense beforehand. I'd say he may not be, but look at him lining up here in heavy set here on 1st and 10.
Strong power line, first down. It'll be Burr back to pass. Fires near side. That's going to go way out of bounds. And I'd almost say that might be grounds for intentional grounding.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There was some pressure on him, and I'm not sure what the if that might have been a broken play and he just realized that he had to get rid of the ball. But that might have been his zippiest pass of the game. I'm sad there wasn't a receiver on the other end of that.
It'll be second down now for the Miners. Burr in the gun with O'Shaughnessy off to his right with 4 wide receivers. Dime look from the Rustlers. Pass over the middle. That one's hauled in on the short pass and catch. Good enough for about 7. And the Miners are going to hurry up to the line.
They still have 2 timeouts, Tyler.
Burr back to pass again. Fires over the middle, and it falls incomplete in and out of the hands of David Gears. And on back-to-back possessions, the Miners will go 3 and out.
And that drop by Gears really hurts. And with 48 seconds left to play in the half, that's a catch you've got to have. You're down by 1 score. You've got a chance to sneak away some points here in the half. But your guys have got to make plays. And David Gears knows that as well as anybody. That's a really unfortunate drop.
And one other thing to note is it also stops the clock. And so Salt Lake City with 2 timeouts might have a chance to put some more points up on the board. As Hickman gets the return, he's absolutely leveled at the 27.
It's great to see Gears' teammates picking him up in chat. Those Miners are sticking together here at this point, even though they're down 1 score here heading into the locker room.
Absolutely. Very active in the SFLm general chat. Very active here tonight as Bill Blackwell and David Burr just absolutely just saying, hey, we'll get another chance. It's still early on in this football game. Tommy Utah standing up well under center. Will hand it off up the middle to Foreman, who has a little bit of a hole, and will take it up to about the 32-yard line. And it looks like they're content with going into the half up by 8.
And that's not a terrible place to be. You're up by a score. You're on the road. Your team is playing well. You've already lost your starting running back to injury. This is not a bad place to just even take a knee here. It looks like Salt Lake City is going to try and get one more playoff.
Under 10 seconds to go with Utah in the gun. He's back to pass. Fires to the far side. That one's hauled in and then immediately tackled right there at the 45. And Salt Lake City will use one of their timeouts and maybe look for maybe a shot into the end zone for a Hail Mary upcoming.
Yeah, 55 yards away from the end zone, Hail Mary is a real option here. Less so when you're 80 yards away. But depending on how Tommy Utah's arm is feeling at this point, there is a chance that he could chuck one into the end zone if Salt Lake City's willing to put their quarterback at risk to do that. And it looks like they are.
And we did see one Hail Mary work for San Jose last week as they walked off on a Hail Mary against Madison last week. Does Tommy Utah have a little bit of magic in his arm? He pumps once, pressure coming. He is not going to escape the pressure. He'll be down for a sack to end the first half.
Brogan Spearaw coming up big there. They put a lot of pressure on Tommy Utah. Very fortunate that it got home.
So the Rustlers will go into the half up 14-6. And Josh, it's been a very consistent performance, something we've seen so far early on in this young season, and they're just continuing that momentum throughout the football game today.
Yeah, they really are, and really playing well on both sides of the ball. And they've really stymied Lexington when we were expecting Dave Burr and Bailey O'Shaughnessy to maybe run roughshod over the Salt Lake City defense in this battle of 2-1 teams. But really, the Rustlers, even after losing Brooke Beisel, have managed to maintain their offensive aura. Kelsey Brown has made some huge plays. Hayes Sharp has only had 3 catches in the first half. All 3 of those catches have been outstanding. And the Salt Lake City Rustlers defense managed to force 3 3-and-outs in the first half. I know it's only a 1-score game, Tyler, but Salt Lake City's looking really good right now.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing in this second half here, Josh, is Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Last week, 196 yards and 3 touchdowns. So far, only 22 yards for the tailback from Lexington.
And he's not had a great deal of volume. The game plan clearly was designed for Dave Burr and to get his other receivers involved. And I don't think that's really happened either. So I don't know if Lexington has designs on maybe changing things up. Maybe we'll see more of Bailey O'Shaughnessy in the second half. But either way, this offense is too good. You're talking about an offense that's second in scoring offense, fourth in the pass, and fourth in terms of rushing offense. Tyler, they're a lot better than this, and something's got to change in the second half, and I think it might.
And we'll see what they can come up with as we welcome you back to Lexington, Kentucky. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Josh Circle. Glad to have you along with us as we're just about ready to begin the second half of action. Let's get some YouTube chat shout-outs going right here. We got M4 Estro 26 in chat. Dave Burr, Tyrone Jones, Isabella Blackwell, Carrington Henson, Aaron Alexander, among others joining us tonight. Welcome one and all. Glad to see you all here on this Monday night for SFL action as Grant Hickman gets his return up to the 27, and that is where Salt Lake will take over for their first possession of the second half.
I see Yogi Barr in the chat as well. Hey, boo-boo. But for Salt Lake City, it's time to pick up right where you left off. Your offense is playing great. Get Sutherland involved, but keep throwing the ball. It's only a one-score lead right now.
Good thing I'm hiding my picnic baskets there, Josh. I don't want Yogi getting in. As the handoff will go to the fullback, Terrell Sutherland, and he gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1.
And Lexington knows they've got to step up here in the second half. So that's a good way to get after it so far. We need a few more of those for the Miners. And give Dave Burr another opportunity to put some points on the board.
Utah in the gun with Sutherland in Foreman off to his left and right. Has to escape the pressure. Floater over the middle. That one's hauled in by Hickman. Good enough for about 8 yards, and it's third, and I'd say quite manageable for the Rustlers upcoming, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hickman did not look like he was expecting that ball. He was sitting there between defenders, trying to maintain space to keep those other defenders honest, and the ball came his way, and he made the catch. Nice work.
A single back set for Salt Lake. It'll be a hand off the middle for Foreman. Foreman finds a hole and will punch through to pick up the first down for the Rustlers.
And Foreman getting some good blocks in the middle, and that's exactly what he needs at this point. And you can see him just goes north and south, straight up the middle. And if they're going to hang on to this lead, you got to be able to control the clock. And Foreman's going to be called on to do that, Tyler. He's got to be a closer. Although it's not quite closing time just yet.
He's got plenty of time in this football game. We'll see if the Miners defense can make a stop. Right now, Salt Lake City on their own 43. We'll go with another handoff for Foreman, this time going backward. And it seems like these first down runs for Salt Lake haven't really gained a whole lot of traction. It's these second and third down runs that have really picked up.
Yeah, and I think that comes with being predictable. If you can mix up your play calling a little bit, you don't want to get into the game manager mindset of running on first and second and then throwing on third. You want to add a little variety. You want a little spice. You need to see a little more spice from the Rustlers.
Deep drop from Utah. Fires outside. That one's hauled in on the sideline by Ace Sharp. And it'll be a pickup of 5.
A nice catch by Sharp. Those out routes have been money for Salt Lake City so far. Ace Sharp is connected on a few of those. Kelsey Brown as well. It's a good time for it. And now third and medium. Could use another one here.
Utah in the gun. 3 wideouts. Nickel look from the Miners to counter. Out route near side. That one's hauled in. Sharp again on the reception. And he'll pick up the first down.
And now Sharp with back-to-back catches. He only had 3 in the first half. And this might be some more Ace Sharp that we're seeing here in the second half. Lexington, we've been telling Lexington they have to change their game plan, but Salt Lake City, they're going to change a few things up as well.
Gun straight set from Utah. 3 wide out to the top of your screen. It'll be an all slants pattern over the middle. That one's hauled in by Sharp again. Make it 3 receptions in a row for Ace. And it's another first down for Salt Lake.
Well, if they call you ace, you got to be able to come through in situations like this and back-to-back catches. And look at that. It's like a chorus line. All four of those receivers breaking in unison. And Ace Sharp making a big catch and getting big yardage. And Salt Lake City knocking on the door again. The Miners have got to hold up here if they want to keep their team into this game.
So again, Utah goes in the gun. Sutherland and Foreman to his left and right. Two wide receivers to the top of the screen. Defense shows blitz, then backs off. Sharp again. Make it 4 in a row for Ace Sharp. And it brings up 2nd and 7.
All right, I'm starting to get impressed, Tyler. I don't know about you, but to make 4 catches in a row like that, and these are not all simple. I mean, that was an out route there, but to make a contested catch on the slant and then to come back and run the out, very impressive performance on this drive by Ace Sharp.
Utah back to pass again. It'll be a pass caught by someone other named Ace Sharp. It'll be Chris Foreman on the reception. He'll take it upfield to the 21, and it'll be 3rd and short upcoming for the Rustlers.
And Foreman doing a nice job of getting his team on schedule. The 3rd and 3 is about as long as you want to be here. You could still run it, although I'm not sure that would be advised with Chris Foreman. Excuse me, maybe with Sutherland, but not with Foreman.
Linebacker shift in the direction of the power I. Instead, Utah went back to pass. It'll be a swing route for Foreman. Tries to get to the line to gain, but the Lexington defense gets to him in a hurry and takes him down before he can get the first down.
And one of my favorite things to see at this level, Tyler, is the cornerbacks and safeties playing the run. And Darrell Bullock did a great job of getting to the point of attack and denying Chris Foreman that first down. And he basically put 3 points or even 4 points on the board for his team because he's limiting Salt Lake City to a field goal now.
Macklin missed one from about 45 earlier. We'll see if he can make amends here. Snap, spot kick is up, and this time it's through the uprights. And Salt Lake edged their lead out even further. It's 17-6.
And now the dynamic changes here a little bit, Tyler. It's a 2-score game. And Lexington, if they didn't have their foot on the gas before, they definitely have to now. And as that lead grows, that decreases the likelihood you can run, and it decreases the chances of getting Bailey O'Shaughnessy involved in this game, their outstanding runner who was averaging 5 yards a carry coming into this game. And as that lead gets bigger for Salt Lake City and the time on the clock gets smaller, that limits the chances that they're going to put Bailey O'Shaughnessy in this game.
Wade tries to make something happen, gets it up to the 30-yard line before he's taken down. Sector 6 is the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. Visit sector6apparel.com or our website at simulationfl.net for replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more that help each team stand out from their opponents. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6 and the SFL. I formation with Ketchum flexed off to the right. 5-step drop there from Burr. Finds his man on the out route toward the far side. That's David Gears, and he'll pick up his 3rd reception of the ballgame.
And it's not been a tough night for Gears, but it's not been the night that he certainly dreamed of when he was sleeping in his bed here in Lexington the night before. And this is an opportunity for him to get more involved. Still plenty of time left in this game. Lexington has some work to do, and their margin for error is dwindling.
2nd and 5 for the Miners on their own 35. Handoff, O'Shaughnessy shakes up one tackle, gets around the corner. He's got a little bit of room, shakes off another. He's still rumbling down the sideline, down to the 35 of the Salt Lake City Rustlers.
And that's why you get Bailey O'Shaughnessy in the game. The guy just makes gold out of lead, and he dips the shoulder there, makes the defender miss, drags another defender off. Might have been a hold there. That's okay. Makes another defender miss. And then finally, the defensive lineman for Salt Lake City came and dragged O'Shaughnessy down. What an outstanding run for Bailey O'Shaughnessy. More of that, please, if you're Lexington.
I'd love to see a little bit more of that, too. Gets another call up the middle, has another huge run, fighting for the first down, and O'Shaughnessy gets the first down. That's some tough, old-school running we love to see here in the SFL.
Yeah, he goes to the sideline, and then he goes right up the middle. Just tremendous, tremendous effort You could feel the effort coming off of him, even up here all the way up in the broadcast booth, Tyler.
I formation again on this first down. Hand off O'Shaughnessy again. Hit
Oh!
the football, and Salt Lake recovers. Bogey Barr falls on it, and Salt Lake City take over.
And that is absolutely tragic for all involved. It's tragic for O'Shaughnessy because you want to see him getting the ball, but look at his stick right there. Boom. That's Frankie Kuster, 6'1", 215, and he gets a hand on it. It just pops loose. But incredibly unfortunate for Lexington. But Salt Lake City playing like they want to run away with this game. And at this rate, Tyler, they just might.
Sutherland already has eclipsed his yardage total from a week ago. Make this a career high for the fullback, 26 yards. Handoff Foreman up the middle, and Foreman will maybe pick up a couple before he's met by Derek Williams and company after the gain of 2.
You're talking about ball security here. You got to think about the 2 running backs for Salt Lake City that aren't used to getting a starter's share worth of volume, and Terrell Sutherland now, and even Chris Foreman in that regard. If they're taking some more hits, we may see one of them pop the ball loose as well.
Utah in the gun. Here on second down. 2-step drop, fires to the far side. That's Ace Sharp turning upfield and picking up a couple. It'll take him to the 28-yard line.
And Ace Sharp with his 5th catch this quarter, doing all he can. We talked about Chris Foreman being a closer. Maybe Ace Sharp will be the closer in this game. Tremendous volume by the wide receiver.
3rd and short. Can the Miners hold them here? Hand up the middle. Getting into the backfield in a hurry was Derek Williams. What a play from the linebacker. And after the fumble, the Miners defense picks up the offense and forces a 3-and-out.
Absolutely tremendous job by the Miners defense. Derek Williams, who has been playing the run very well all day, making a huge stop when his team absolutely needed it. And Lexington's going to get the ball back.
So Salt Lake City are unable to capitalize, and on comes Frank Gussie to punt it away. Ryan Way stands at about his 36, tries to put the shift on one of the defenders, but he's taken down at the 41-yard line, and now here comes the Lexington Miners. Bailey O'Shaughnessy looked like he had something going after a couple of nice runs. Fumble the football. We'll see if he maybe had a little bit of coaching on the sideline from Chad Rowland to maybe take better care of that football.
Here's some coaching. Don't drop it. We need you. We need you to get us back into this game. Please don't drop the football, Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
Oh, coming off the edge in a hurry, just shredding the offensive line was Marcus Sledge. Takes down the quarterback for a sack.
Yeah, tremendous job by Salt Lake City, and they've been getting close to David Barr. The pressure had never gotten home before that play, and now with Salt Lake City finally getting home on pressure, the task looks even more insurmountable for Lexington.
Offset single back for the Miners on 2nd and 14 now. Underneath route, that one's hauled in by David Gears, and it's a little bit closer to that first down marker.
Yeah, you got a 3rd and long here, and Lexington, who has had many a drive stall in this game, really need to find out whatever play they have on the play sheet that's starred, asterisk, circled, or whatever. That's the play you need to run here.
Quick drop here from Burr. Finds his man on the stop route, and again, that stop route is effective. But again, it's just short of the line to gain, and it's a 3-and-out for the Miners.
And 4th and 2 in midfield. It looks like Lexington will punt. And Salt Lake City doing a great job. Their offense went 3-and-out. Defense came out and got themselves a 3-and-out of their own. And Salt Lake City doing a great job on the road here, containing a very good offense and a very good running back.
Hickman on the return from his own 15. Surprised he didn't call for a fair catch, as he's only able to pick up just about 3 yards. Visit the all-new SFL League website at www.simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, to join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. Links to apparel, helmets, and a comprehensive history of the SFL. It's over 1,500 games, and it's thousands of players that have hit the virtual field. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. First down here for the Rustlers as Utah steps up in the pocket, fires to the far side, and that one's going to fall incomplete as that one was intended for the tight end, Torrey Perry.
And Lexington doing a good job of keeping their team in this. A pass deflected there out on the right flat. And the defense, it's weird to say that your team's trailing by 11 and the defense has been playing well, but that's exactly what's happened.
Split backfield for the Rustlers on second down. Utah is going to be back to pass. Pressure coming from the outside. Does get it away. Far side. And it's incomplete. Oh, Kelsey Brown nearly had the catch, but it falls incomplete.
And as we know, that is a ball that Kelsey Brown usually comes down with. And Utah puts this thing right on the money. And it's there maybe a little bit behind Kelsey Brown, but that's what she's got to come up with.
Oh, maybe just anticipated just a little bit too late. Looks like she jumped maybe just a fraction too late. As now comes 3rd down and 10 from their own 18. Tommy Utah back to pass again. Tries to find someone over the middle and Sharp. Wow, another one-handed catch from the wide receiver. And that one will make it a first down.
9 catches for Sharp, 6 of those in the third quarter. It's been an outstanding effort from that wide receiver so far today. And it gets Salt Lake City a fresh set of downs. And as you know, Tyler, the freshest are the bestest.
Absolutely. As the handoff will go to the fullback, Sutherland. And Sutherland is stopped right there at the line of scrimmage. Derek Williams has had a pretty big day today. Comes up with another tackle.
And Williams really has, and there's no gain there. And that shows up on the stat sheet as just an ordinary tackle. But that is significant of putting Salt Lake City at 2nd and long. They've got to put the ball in the air now here at some point to avoid another 3 and out.
Offset eye behind Tommy Utah. He's back to pass again. Pressure coming again. And that one is nearly intercepted by Chad Owens. And again, Salt Lake City will find themselves with a 3rd and 10.
And the pass defense really coming alive here for Lexington. They've not been able to get pressure home to the quarterback. No sacks on Tommy Utah thus far, but the secondary has picked them up. We're seeing a lot of passes deflected in that secondary.
So Tommy Utah goes into the gun again. Bunch set near side of the formation. He's back to pass. Lexington on the pressure. They'll get to him in the backfield for the 2nd sack of the day as Lexington finally hold the Salt Lake City Rustlers.
And that is a big home run for Marcus Sledge. And I just talked about how the rush hadn't been getting home, and Marcus Sledge says, oh, and he might have gotten away with a face mask there. Watch that. No, that's clean on the shoulder there. And Marcus Sledge making a big play when it counts.
As that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. Get your 4s and 86s up in chat. One more quarter of action left to go here from Lexington, Kentucky. You're watching the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube. Welcome back to Lexington as Salt Lake City will go ahead and pump this one away. Josh Zirkle joins me, Tyler Falk up here in the booth. Glad to have you here tonight for this Monday Night Football action as the fair catch will be called for at the 41. And here come the Miners offense.
Miners only down 11 here, plenty of time. You got 11 minutes. You don't really need to deviate from anything that you've done in this game so far. Now, that said, you got a decision to make with Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who's put the ball once on the ground already. Do you keep giving it to him? And my answer to that would be yes, you do. Absolutely.
In the gun formation, 4 wide receivers underneath the route. That's been pretty effective so far today. And that'll pick up another 5 yards for the Miners, and that'll take him to the 45-yard line.
And that's a strong start for this driver. Lexington has to come away with points. Your defense has been balling. You've been struggling. It's time for you to ball and to get down the field and put some points on the board.
Second and 5, playbook's wide open. They'll give it to O'Shaughnessy, who's met immediately at the line of scrimmage by Bogey Barr, and it's third down and a very important and critical situation now for the Miners.
And 3rd and 5, you've really got to throw it here. And Dave Barr is going to have to make a good decision here. In the pocket where Salt Lake City has been breathing down his neck for the most of this third quarter.
Quick drop, deep pass, near side, deflected away by Gerard Brody. And they force the Miners again to punt.
And that's unfortunate. And that just shows you how well Salt Lake City's been playing on defense. They really came into Lexington and decided they were not going to be denied. And so far, the Miners have really not been able to do, aside from a couple of big runs from O'Shaughnessy, the Miners have not really done anything to challenge the Salt Lake City defense.
Fulman punts this one away to Hickman, and Hickman again doesn't call for a fair catch and is only able to get back to the 15-yard line for Salt Lake City.
And now if you're Salt Lake City, you start thinking about the time. You start thinking about the clock. You're not going to close the game out just yet. You got just under 10 minutes. But you want to keep your defense off the field for as long as you can. And so far, Tommy Utah's been doing a pretty good job of that.
So now do we see a heavy dose of Terrell Sutherland then?
I would like to see Sutherland get some more carries in here, absolutely.
Utah back to pass instead on first down and somehow finds Kelsey Brown in a very tight window as Kelsey Brown hauls it in before going out of bounds.
And that is unbelievable. I'm watching this from the sideline, and I thought that was a pick. I have no idea how Brown caught this. We're going to get a great look at it here. It's a perfect ball. And you see the hand of the defender come up just a little too soon. That's Daryl Bullock, who's done a nice job of deflecting balls today. But Kelsey Brown got the better of that battle in that time.
So now at the 30-yard line are the Rustlers. Utah again in the gun. Back to pass again. Pressure coming from out the middle. Good, clean pocket for a little bit. Shakes off one. Does Utah has to try and get away on the out route. And unfortunately, Grant Hickman can't help out his quarterback, and it falls incomplete. What a play, though, from Tommy Utah.
It kind of tells you how well everything has been going for Tommy Utah in Salt Lake City right now. They can't miss. That would have been a sack. They had Tommy Utah dead to rights, and he literally just shrugs off the defender and manages to get the ball away for an incomplete. An amazing play.
Power running formation on the field now for the Rustlers. They'll give to Sutherland on the wing, a little stretch play to the near side, away from the power run set strong side, and it's going to go maybe not even backward, right there back to the line of scrimmage there, Josh.
Yeah, now a big 3rd and 10. Lexington's defense doing all they can to get their offense back on the field after giving up that early catch to Kelsey Brown.
And they come up with another stop out route. This time Hickman is able to haul it in, spins away and falls backward for a first down. And the Rustlers continue to move the chains.
And Ty Woodson had him lined up, the corner, 6'2", 202, and he signed before week 3. This is only his second game, but the angle he had on Hickman, the only way he could hit him was to knock him forward, and that's exactly what happened, and that was enough to give Salt Lake City the first down.
Launch set near side on the new set of downs. Utah, deep ball over the middle, hauled in by Kelsey Brown again, and they're into Lexington territory again.
And there's a big downfield catch by Kelsey Brown, who makes this amazing catch in traffic. He's about to get lit up there by Josh Rowe, who comes over in the coverage on the free safety, playing center field. Brown makes the catch, and Salt Lake City keeps their drive alive.
Now over 2 minutes so far this possession, so good time management from these Rustlers. Pressure coming from the outside as Utah's able to get rid of it to Foreman, and Foreman just able to get back to the line of scrimmage before he's taken down.
And while that may not have been a great play in the first half, Tyler, this play takes time off the clock now. with a fresh set of downs, you could take another 30, 35 seconds off the clock with no gain passes to Foreman. And Foreman didn't gain yards, but he didn't lose any yards either.
So Utah on the gun. Foreman to his right along with two wide receivers also in that direction. Blitz coming from up the middle. That's contained pretty well as the fullback sticks one man to the ground, then is pulled down from behind. They might tag Derek Williams with a course collar, and it'll be a first down for Salt Lake.
Face mask, number 44. Defense.
They're calling it a face mask. That's 15 yards either way, Tyler.
And so the Salt Lake City Rustlers will continue to put the pressure onto Lexington, as unfortunately there for Williams just gets a little bit too much of that face mask. That might be more closer to a horse collar than anything.
Yeah, the horse collar is definitely there. I don't see a face mask, but my initial assessment was similar to yours. But as it stands now, good call, bad call, doesn't matter. It's a first down for Salt Lake City.
So that puts them right there in the red zone at the 14-yard line. Split backfield behind Utah. Handoff goes backward a little bit from Sutherland, and Sutherland is taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Ty Woodson.
And Woodson, who's also had a nice game today, getting Foreman down behind the line, getting a TFL for himself. And now Salt Lake City, they do not want to put the ball in the air here, Tyler. You want to take off as much time as you can. A field goal here makes it 20-6, a 13-point game, and that's a tall order for Lexington with about 6 minutes left is when they'll have the ball back.
Handoff for Foreman as Derek Williams gets to him behind the line of scrimmage, and Foreman may be able to pick up, maybe one before being brought down. As we want to thank David Ware and Ethan Kai and everybody that's letting us know that Albuquerque has just gone ahead and won in their game, and they're 4-0 to begin their season.
Congratulations to them. That is a really good-looking team right now.
Trips left of Tommy Utah, and he'll fire in that direction. That's Kelsey Brown as she'll haul it in for about 5 and then gets taken down out of bounds. But they don't really need a couple more touchdowns. It would be nice. It would put this game away, but just taking control of that football. And on comes now Carl Macklin on to attempt a field goal. But just overall tremendous game plan from these Rustlers, Josh.
Yeah, we're talking about Albuquerque and their success and being 4-0 now, but I think heading into this game, Salt Lake City and Lexington were probably the second and third best teams in SFLm, and really I think Salt Lake City has really made a statement for themselves by the way that they've come out and had the upper hand in most of this game. They've won a lot of one-on-one matchups. Kelsey Brown played very well, and keep in mind, Tyler, they did most of this without Brooke Beisel, who went down early in the game with that knee injury. If Albuquerque is tops in the league, you got to think Salt Lake City's right behind them.
Exactly, and she went down even before points were scored for her team. So that just tells you it's next man up mentality here in Salt Lake, as again they jump out, and it's now a 14-point advantage for the Rustlers as they'll go ahead and kick this one away to Brian Way as he'll get his return started. Tries to angle it to the near side and is taken down at the 28-yard line. Keep up with the SFL and its teams on social media at Simulationfl. Follow us on Twitter for weekly broadcast schedules to discover team content and stay up to date on SFL news. Let us know who your favorite team is or how you enjoy the broadcasts each week with the hashtag #MakeAnImpact. Thanks for your support and your viewership.
And now it's crunch time here for Lexington. They still got a chance to throw the ball down the field, score, and get the ball back.
Burr back to pass, finds his man on the out route toward the near side. That one is caught, and it'll be Lawrence Perry, the tight end, coming up with reception and a gain of 9.
And Perry making a contribution there. Unfortunately, that keeps the clock running for Lexington. Their margin for error here continues to dwindle.
Can they keep control, and can they march down the field and put some points up on the board? They need touchdowns, not field goals. That's a swing pass near side for Bailey O'Shaughnessy. He fumbles again! His second fumble of the game! And again, Salt Lake is going to recover. That's Vincent Warren, and they're set up an excellent field position.
Oh my gosh, that just hurts. And O'Shaughnessy ready to turn upfield. And look at that. Gerard Brody getting a big stick on him. And that ball just squirts loose. Salt Lake City back in business on offense. And people are going to look at this tape and they're going to say some negative things about O'Shaughnessy. And this guy is a good player and he runs hard. And he's just having some bad luck with the football right now. It's really unfortunate.
Very unfortunate for the man who had a career day last week. It's just been a game to forget for him today as Sutherland gets the call on first down, picks up maybe a yard before being brought down by Ian Renderbush.
And if Salt Lake City is able to get a first down or two here, they're going to kick a field goal that will essentially ice the game, Tyler. A 17-point lead with this amount of time left is going to be a tall order for any team in the SFL or the SFLm.
They need to get to about the 28-yard line to be in effective field goal range. Now let's go ahead and play the time management game and take a whole bunch of time off the clock before they go ahead and snap it. Hand off to Foreman. He picks up about 3 to the 36, and it's third down for Salt Lake.
And we got to remember, this is a developmental league. This is a minor league. So even though the game is or may be relatively decided, we don't want to jump the gun on that. But every snap counts, and every snap is an opportunity for a player to make an impact and show what they can do, not only to their teammates, but also to the SFL teams that are watching. And so there's still a fair amount of drama here, especially for Salt Lake City, as they got a bunch of players that smell blood in the water, thinking maybe I could get another touchdown here.
Utah, it's delayed handoff for Foreman, and Foreman gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage, down to the 36, and it looks like they will have to go ahead and punt this one away, even though they are on the 36-yard line.
I think this would be a 53-yard field goal, which is probably outside the range of every SFLm kicker, if not most. But as it stands, they're going to pin Lexington back with less than 3 minutes to play. And this is the correct move. I know a lot of people want to see them go for it on fourth down, but even with a lead like this, you want to pin them deep as far as you can.
And take as much time off that clock. That clock is your friend, and Gussie snaps it toward the near side, and it gets a Salt Lake bounce, and they down it at the 4-yard line. Everything is going right for these Rustlers.
And Isabella Blackwell, the gunner, hears the ball bounce and then finally sees it standing at the 3-yard line. An outstanding special teams play by Isabella Blackwell, a week 2 signing, already making an impact on special teams.
Can the Miners come back from this 14-point deficit with 2:37 left to go? We're about to find out. They're pinned deep in their own territory to start this drive. Burr back to pass, pressure coming, and he's taken down for a safety, and Salt Lake are putting the Miners to bed.
And Dave Burr trying to make something happen, and that Salt Lake City rush has just gotten stronger and stronger as the game has gone on, and they finally get home again. And Dave Burr goes down. 2 points for Salt Lake City.
And to add insult to injury, Lexington will punt it away after the safety, and Hickman gets his return started at the 24. Angles on the near side, and will get to the 44-yard line. And Josh, I have been thoroughly impressed by these Salt Lake City Rustlers.
I've been impressed too, and this has been an entertaining game, Tyler. This is a game between two really good teams, and I think Lexington, when they review the tape on this, they're going to maybe second guess some of the things they decided to do offensively. But this is a team with two teams with a lot of talent on both sides of the balls. It gives Salt Lake City their due. They were the better team tonight.
Sutherland shakes off a tackle, and the fullback's been busy tonight. He gets about 7 there on the carry.
Sutherland getting some volume. It's always tough when you're waiting behind somebody like Brooke Beisel, and I know Sutherland's a fullback. I know that is not his role. I know he aspires to make it to an SFL club as a fullback. But when you have an opportunity or two to carry the ball like that, you do want to make it count.
And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning here in this one. Salt Lake City just trying to put the bow on this package and Send it, signed, sealed, delivered for their third victory of the season. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Two minutes to go, and we should see a heavy dose of the run game from Salt Lake City to close out this football game, ahead by 16 at the moment. Handoff, Chris Foreman, the backup tailback, picking up the slack for Brooke Beisel after she went down with an injury, and Lexington will take their first timeout.
And here come the timeouts, Tyler. And Lexington, thinking about this, it is a 2-score game. If you're able to get a turnover and somehow get the ball down the field in a hurry, there is an outside chance you get another touchdown and another 2 points to tie the game.
Only 7 in the box to counter this heavy set. Foreman on the call. He picks up the first down, as that will probably be that, as Salt Lake City will probably come out of Lexington with the victory after that first down.
And a very impressive victory that it has been. Tommy Utah, Kelsey Brown, Ace Sharp. The passing game was looking outstanding. Terrell Sutherland did a great job, not only running the ball, but also setting up blocks, not only for Beisel when she was in the game, but also for Chris Foreman. It's been a great game for this offense.
Handoff up the middle, and it's going to have the backups in, and so it's Grant Hickman filling in for Terrell Sutherland at the fullback spot. He picks up 5, and there goes Lexington's final timeout. And this week isn't over, folks. We still got a couple more games coming up right here on the Simulation Football YouTube channel. Madison will be at Memphis, and that game is scheduled to go at 9 p.m. Eastern. Jack Brown and Aaron Alexander on the call for that one. And at 9:20, Ottawa will take on Tacoma. And you, Josh, are going to be in my spot. You're going to be calling play-by-play for that one with David Ware as your analyst. How excited are you?
Well, it's always exciting to get with David again. You know, he and I have really hit it off, and he's been a lot of fun. So if you've enjoyed listening to me in this game, you could check me out with David at 9:20 at Ottawa, Tacoma. And if you've disgusted by me and you're repulsed by the sound of my voice, you're more than welcome to listen to Madison at Memphis.
Absolutely. We got a lot of tremendous color and play-by-play commentators here on the SFL. It's been an awesome experience as Utah takes another knee, and it'll be 4th down. They'll go ahead and punt it away, and that should give Lexington maybe about 20 seconds to build their confidence here to close out this football game.
Yeah, David and I have almost done as many games. This will be our 3rd game, me and David tonight. And I think, Tyler, this is my 4th game with you. And between you two guys, I don't think I've worked with everybody else combined as much as I've worked with you and David.
They seem to like pairing us up. It seems we have a very similar schedule, and it can go ahead and do games together. And I enjoy calling these games with you, Josh, and I wish you nothing but the best as you get on the call as the play-by-play guy for Ottawa and Tacoma, as Brian Waite calls for a fair catch at the 12-yard line. And so Lexington will have 27 seconds to make something happen.
And to reiterate, I think Lexington is a great team. I think they did some things offensively that were probably not sharp, considering the matchups that they had. But I think Lexington's going to make some noise. I think we're looking at a playoff team here. And Dave Burr, they're an empty set, Tyler. They're going to go down swinging.
They're going to try and get something to happen. Burr, back to pass, fires to the right side. That's hauled in. They're going to hurry up to the line and maybe spike it or get another playoff. Time ticking down, 15 seconds to go here in regulation, as Burr will go ahead and indeed spike the football. 14 seconds left to go.
And I'm just kind of glancing through the chat. I tell everybody I'm not capable of casting a game and looking at the chat at the same time, and that's mostly true. But Tyler, we're getting some nice compliments for our call of this game, and for everybody, we say thank you very much. It's tough to be objective. I always want to be a journalist and try and bury people. But I love this community, and I love that everybody comes out to support their teams and other teams. And all I could say for that is thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you to the SFL community for just go ahead and support us. So Shaughnessy makes a man miss in the backfield as Lexington will hurry back up to the line as they try and maybe spike it. 3, 2, 1. They aren't going to get it off. And officially send it. Salt Lake City 22, Lexington 6. And it's been Salt Lake's day today, Josh.
Yeah, it really has. When you could come out on the road and you could beat a team like Lexington, you really needed a lot of things to go right. And when Brooke Beisel went down in the opening drive of this game, Tyler, the opening drive for the Salt Lake City offense, we thought it was going to be a long day for the Rustlers, but it turned out to be anything but 274 yards of total offense for Salt Lake City. And they really had the upper hand in this one. Kelsey Brown and Ace Sharp, I think, had something like 19 catches between the two of them. I can't read all the tick marks on my sheet here, but just a tremendous job with the passing attack. Terrell Sutherland picked up the slack as well. He had a few carries, but he also opened a few holes up for the backup. And he did a tremendous job just showing leadership in the face of adversity. And really, you can't say enough about the job Salt Lake City did to play through that and to come out of Lexington with a win.
Absolutely. And you'd expect maybe the rushing totals to be maybe in the opposite direction, where Lexington finished the game with a lower rushing total than Salt Lake, even with a backup running back. But credit Terrell Sutherland and Chris Foreman for picking up the slack, like you mentioned there, Josh. And how about that? The defensive play at the end of the football game to just seal this game, a sack in the end zone, resulting in the safety. And the defense just came to play and stopped everything. Not a whole lot of first down conversions for the Lexington Miners, and I think that was the big story, especially when they controlled time of possession throughout this football game, Josh.
Well, and they got three and outs in the first half too, and I think that really set the tone for them.
Absolutely. Kelsey Brown, 12 receptions, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown for the wide receiver for Salt Lake. She is your player of the game tonight. We got more SFLm action coming your way here on the SFL's YouTube channel. But from all of us here in Lexington, Kentucky, for Josh and Cam, I've been Tyler Falk. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.